David, topic numero uno.
Please.
You ready for it?
That's topic number 1 for all of our American listeners.
English-speaking listeners. Is Culture Corner, and we're talking about the Alex Jones trial.
Well, isn't he a big piece of shit that should be hung up by his toes until he's dead?
Yeah, I think that's the allowable opinion on this subject.
Okay. Good. Glad I'm got my finger on the pulse of Americana.
Yeah, any sort of deviation off that center in terms of the narrative, whenever you hear the word or the name Alex Jones, deviation off of that is not acceptable. You are kicked right out of polite society. So, David, let's do our best to get kicked out of polite society.
Please. I mean, I didn't belong there anyway. Let's be honest with ourselves.
So,
they're turning the fucking frogs gay.
As we record,
explain Terror 7. Anyway, sorry.
And that's not even the worst one.
Nope.
So as we sit here in the second week of August 2022, I believe it's either a week or 2 weeks have gone by since Alex Jones' defamation trial ended. And I think he was awarded, the families were awarded somewhere around like $3 million, $4 million, something like that, of damages from Alex Jones for the specific claim that the Sandy Hook massacre was a false flag. It was a hoax. It never happened.
Can I put a pause on that?
They were crisis actors. That's the general opinion that he's on trial.
How much does CNN, Fox News, and all the other MSNBC and all the other news broadcasters that made multitudes of money covering said stories, how much did they have to pay the families when they misrepresented certain things and just made a boatload of profits off of covering this story and basically making money off of blood? How much did they have to pay out?
Oh, yeah. Round it down.
Please.
Carry the one. $0.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's weird that a fucking offshoot InfoWars YouTube channel-based fucking guy has to pay $3 million and CNN had to pay $0. But they covered it for at least multiple weeks, right?
Yeah, but David, don't you understand? It's his fault for saying the words. He said the no words, David.
I'm sorry. False flag.
Now, here's the thing. And I know when you come to W&D podcast, because you see this all the time, is that mutually, what are posited to you as mutually exclusive opinions can be held in common without contradiction. So one can say, I have empathy for the Sandy Hook families whose feelings were hurt, they were caused trauma, whatever, by by Alex Jones's statements. Okay, you can still have empathy for them and say, bro, that wasn't cool to say. And you can also hold the opinion that a guy is getting railroaded. Not only is he getting railroaded personally, but as David was pointing out, there's a lot of other people got rich off of it and didn't have to pay a dime. But even more fundamentally important than that is this. Think of all the manufactured outrage around what Alex Jones did, which, again, turns out to be substantially hurt feelings. Okay? That's what he did. There's a lot of politicians and bureaucrats who over the years have, lied about weapons of mass destruction, which cost the American people somewhere around $1 trillion, tens of thousands of American military personnel's lives. Oh, and the millions of civilians that were either starved or bombed out of existence all throughout the Middle East.
They don't exist. Obviously, when you bomb a fucking elementary school over there, it's not an actual child. It was a Taliban harbor for guns or whatever the fuck they're telling you why they did it. That's because we are all heart in this country.
That's right. Always the good guys.
Never doing anything wrong.
So all we're saying is, everybody, your priorities are showing. As reprehensible as what Alex did, when you compare the damage between him lying about Sandy Hook or the American regime lying about weapons of mass destruction, the scales of justice seem pretty unbalanced there.
All I'm saying is, he's an easy target.
Yeah.
He's flamboyant. He's over the top. He's called, like I said, with my general impression of him, He said they're turning the frogs gay, which at face value sounds ridiculous. Sounds like something you shouldn't really be concerned with. But he also backed it up with information that said that, like, the water that they're feeding to our children is the same water that turned amphibious creatures from a genetic female into a genetic male and vice versa. It's like, oh, shit. And he had the evidence to back it up with, like, studies and stuff like that. Which is, if you follow the science like we all do, Dane, is discreditable at the least, right?
Listen, if I could Cliff Notes this section and this entire episode of WMD Podcast, I would say, when you're told to be mad at somebody or a group of people, notice who you're always told to get mad at versus who you're not. Right? Alex Jones, you're told to get mad at. No matter what he did, no matter how bad it was, no matter how much societal, in addition to individual destruction he caused, versus who you're just like, whoopsie daisies, I guess we lied about WMDs. Not about this being the greatest podcast
only
on
cost
earth.
us to get into a 20-year war. Whoops.
Yeah.
Let's not investigate that at all.
Notice that the one who you're told to be mad at deviates from the regime's narratives. He says something that's not approved by the people in power. But when the people in power do stuff like lie about weapons of mass destruction, don't worry about it, folks. That's just, your humble public servants trying their best and accidentally getting it wrong.
It's just us tinkering with the brink of human annihilation. That's all we're doing. Just pissing people off with nukes. That's all it is.
Yeah, no big.
But we definitely need to protect feelings again.